Guys, this is a little overdue. It's the instructions for my slip for my layette pattern. It just sort of slipped my mind that I didn't have instructions. No pun intended, but yeah, it slipped my mind. So I do apologize for it. I'm going to be doing the instructions with, this is the material that I use when I'm testing a pattern out, so that's why my stuff is printed right on here. It helps me just make better use of my time when I'm testing things out. But this is the instructions for the slip. So basically you're going to have just two pieces. The slip is super easy to do. You're going to have two pieces, and you can see that they're both cut on the fold, and that is all explained in the pattern. I have help with my lighting today. But that's all explained in the pattern layout, the fabric layout, that you're going to do one back on the fold and one front on the fold, and this is where we are in life. So from there, what you're going to do is, I would say, there's a couple different ways you can take this, okay? But I would say most of the time you're going to start by doing this side seam, and there's 3/8 of an inch seam allowance here. So you can do this just a plain seam with right sides together, a plain seam down, and then if you want to serge the edges or zigzag them or just leave them be, that's up to you. You can also do a French seam, and that's the route that I would go. Normally, I'm just going to do a plain seam. I think you guys get the picture. I'm just going to do a plain seam in this case, but normally I would do a French seam. Friendly reminder, a French seam is wrong side together, and since we have 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, what I would do is I would break that down into 1/4 inch for the first pass, trim it up to 1/8 of an inch, and then do 1/8 of an inch for the second pass of that French seam, and that gets you to about 3/8 of an inch seam allowance there. So from there, what you're going to do is you have to figure out a method of doing these raw edges, okay? A couple different ways you can do it. You can do like a lace edging and zig that along, and we've gone over how to attach, you know, a lace edging, how to attach that header to fabric before in the kit. So you can do lace, and you would do it around all of these, you know, you would do it around that arm's eye, you would do it around this neckline, you would do it around this arm's eye, the back neckline. You kind of get the drift, right? You would also do it for the hem. Another way you could do is you could do like a tiny rolled hem, and I have a detailed video on how to do that as well. Other people, they do the little hem. It's not hem, it's a machine stitch shell edging, and you basically are doing a blind hem, and you increase your tension so it kind of like goes into this little shell. And I have a video on how to do that too. But you're going to finish it somehow. I'm not going to finish mine are just for demonstrations, but you're going to finish yours somehow, and that way you're going to do it that way that these edges, like for your hem as well as for that other arm's eye, those raw edges get enclosed into the next seam, into this side seam. Whether you decide to do a plain seam or a French seam, that is up to you, but you do your edge treatment first, and then you go ahead and do this other side seam. Once again, if I was doing this for real, it would be a French seam, but there is nothing wrong with a plain seam too, so just do what makes you happy. So at this point, we've got, this is going to be a finished hem, right? We've got our edges over here that are finished. Remember, I'm just pretending over here, and our side seams are now done. So we are almost done with the slip. It comes together in our super fast. Comes together super quickly. Yes. So now we have to look at the top, and there's no placket here. So the back is not going to be cut down. There's no placket. How it comes together, how you get it on and off, is just up here with these little buttons. I've got it like laid out for like 1/4 inch buttons. You see that? So I've got it laid out for 1/4 inch buttons. You can make it, you know, one big button instead. You could do snaps, whatever floats your boat. But here, this edge right here on our fabric is still raw. So we need to figure out how to like enclose that, okay? So you can first fold it again like on this line here, and then you can fold this back, okay? And you can include this in that stack, wherever that stack where you did the raw edges. You're welcome to include that into those steps, however you finished up the raw edges on yours. so looking forward to the day that I am no longer a hot mess. It's been an exhausting couple years of just making stuff work, and I'm not trying to complain. It's just, it's been exhausting. Okay. Alright, so here we are, okay? Once again, we've got that edge just folded like this. So we have this edge is folded, that would be the raw edge of your fabric. Here's that 1/4 inch line. And you can, this would be nice to trim up like those corners, just kind of get the bulk out of there so it makes a neater corner. And then you're going to turn it right sides out, okay? And you can take a little turner thing and poke out your edges so they're nice and neat. And there you go. Do you see how that is nice like that? So you've got your, you've got that folded edge under, it's under here and concealed, and all of this is nice. And so you would repeat the same thing for the other ones, okay? And once you've done that, like I said, you put on more closures. You can put in little buttons, hand-done buttons is how I would do it, or you can put in snaps. Snaps are very practical, like hand-sewn-in snaps are very practical, and you can put that together, and then that would be your little slip, and that's how you get her on and off. I hope that is helpful. I'm about to do the bloomers, so if you need help with the bloomers, go over and check that video. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching and putting up with my hot mess of a self. Thank you guys. Appreciate your understanding.